Welcome to Haunt Talk. Today we're going to be reviewing Wellstownship in Brilliant, Ohio. It was pretty good.
It was alright. No, I'm just kidding. It was really good.
It was really good. The person that owns it, well, he runs it, and I think he owns it too, Sean Norman. We had met him before because we do like ghost hunting and stuff as well through a group, in a group called Aura Paranormal. You check them out too, on the website and whatnot. But anyways, we went there, and that's where we originally met him. And we actually had went and ghost hunted this place before we had ever actually been to the haunted house, because I had kind of heard of it, but I mainly heard of it through that. And so we went that year after we ghost hunted the place, and it was pretty good when we went. And this was 2 years ago. I mean, it was good. There was places that I saw that, like, oh, that can be improved and this can be improved, but there are definitely things I really liked about it. So then we didn't go last year. I don't know really why. Well, same reason we didn't go to like some of the places we really liked this year, just because we try other places. So we decided to go back this year. We let the guy know. We let Sean Norman know that we were coming, and he let us actually, since he knew we were doing a review and he watched the others, he let us go behind the scenes in the makeup room. They have 2 different endings. We got to experience them both to make sure we knew exactly all what was in it. So that was really nice. We got to talk to him about it as well.
Mm-hmm. It was really awesome, and we really, if you're watching this, we really appreciate all of that.
Yes, we do.
Most places wouldn't do that for us, so that was really awesome.
Right.
And it was really awesome to see all the actors getting ready, all their makeup. You know, it's one thing to see them in the haunted house, but when you see all the work they put into all the time to look the way as awesome as they do.
Yeah, I mean, the makeup there is some of the best I've seen. And I mean, like, Wells Township, it's really, really good, which we're going to get into in a minute, but it's not like one you hear about on TV and on the Travel Channel usually. I mean, I think they have like commercials on TV, but usually don't like hear about it on things like that. But I mean, like the makeup there, I mean, rivals or is even maybe better than some of like those places, and it's more creative, you know. There's only like one person that dresses as movie monsters, because I'm pretty sure he switches his costumes just up throughout the night, so it's kind of cool. He just like decides what movie monster he wants to be, but everything else is an original character.
Mm-hmm. And the haunted house as a whole is so original.
Yeah.
They do so many things that no place else does, and so many places should too.
Yeah, and I mean, they are not, I mean, this is a full contact haunted house. I mean, like, you'll be more than just touched. You'll be shoved, you'll be dropped, you'll be pushed, you'll be made to do things you don't want to do. And it's awesome because of that.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things, another thing that I think all haunted houses, not all, but a lot of places should do, the way they do their line.
Yeah, they don't have one. Well, they kind of do. You wait in line one time to get a number. And they give you your number, and then you do whatever you want until it's your time. And by do whatever you want, you mean you can go in their tent for $2, watch a movie that an independent filmmaker made. You can stand there, watch the big screen where they play music videos. You can go watch the live band, which the night we were there, a band named Fusion was playing.
They were amazing.
Yes, I'm going to try to find them if they have a website, a Facebook. And
they have a Facebook. I already liked them.
Okay, I'm gonna link them to this, and you need to listen to them. They are really good.
And it's just so awesome. Like, when you walk up to this place, since there's no set line, it's just like you're walking up to a giant party.
Because that's exactly what it is.
The atmosphere is amazing. It gets you so hyped up to go through a haunted house.
Right? And I mean, like, they have really loud rock music. They have, like, barrels with fire in them to go be warmed by. Concession stands, gift shops. They actually had, and this is cool, a church group selling baked goods. I love that a church group was at such an intense haunted house selling baked goods.
Because they're that awesome.
There's also a park up the street that I saw that a lot of people were playing at, so I guess you could go do that. Just make sure you don't miss your number, because that one's up for you.
The only bad thing, which not their fault at all, it is really hard to find somewhere to park.
Yeah, it is.
We had to park a little whiles away.
The location that they have in. When we went there, they were busy. This year, I don't even know what the word to describe it was. They're going to be
chaos.
There. They were there at all hours in the morning. They certainly was, which makes it even more impressive that Sean took the time to actually like show us around and talk to us. That was quite great of him.
Yeah, but I just love when we first walk up and we're standing there waiting, and just the music playing. There's amazing actors going through. You need to link the pictures from the first year we went, and the same guy was there this year. He has, like, fake blood all over him.
And in his hair, and just all over his face.
And he'll run his hand like this through his hair, get blood on him, and just wipe it on your face.
Yeah, like right all over you.
When I went, he came up to me like 3-4 times. My entire face was blood. I tried to go to a gas station and wash it off. I look like a burn victim. So if you see this and this happens to you, don't wash it off. You look like a creature. Yeah. Just keep it on.
Yeah.
Go home and wash your face. Don't.
Yeah.
But the actors they have working the crowd are amazing.
Yeah, and they will mess with you. There's one guy I know, I didn't see him do it last year. The same guy was there, but I didn't really get to see him as much, but I know he was out there. He would put a rope around people's neck and walk them around and stuff. They'll grab you. I saw the same guy with the blood in his face grab a kid by the neck and was just kind of walking around with him with a machete to his face.
Yeah, so it's definitely entertaining while you're waiting to get in, too.
Yeah, whether you're being tortured, you get to watch your friends being tortured.
This year, thankfully, it was watching our friends get tortured.
Right.
Someone else got blood on them this year.
You know, and even Sean worded it like pretty much exactly the way we felt. Is like he had said, you know, if he walked up to this place just looking at the outside, he would be excited. And you know, and you can see from the freeway, whatever, I don't exactly know what that was. I don't know what the name of the
road
was. Yeah, but you mean like it's like right off of it. Like here's freeway, and down here's Wellstownship Haunted House, and you look down, and there's just craziness happening, and like
you look down, you're like, what's that party going on down there? I want to go, and I get a haunted house too. Sweet,
right?
Even better.
Yeah. But I think we probably talked about. Well, we should probably talk about the premise a little bit before we get right into the review, because it's not like any other haunted house.
Like we said, there's so many things they do different. Another thing that I love, how they run it. It's not like a typical haunted house where you just walk in, you go through. It's a guided tour.
Right. Which might sound a little odd if you've never been to one like this, which I have not before here. Basically, they have different tour guides, and they take you from room to room. And this is another big difference between the first time we went. The biggest flaw, I think, of the first year was each room was pretty much you see a story, and then people just attack you. Which that's kind of a little bit what happens, but it's so much more inventive this time. There's crazy things that happen. It's something you're never sure what's going to happen in each room, and it's usually different than what you're expecting.
Yeah. There was a few times where I'm like, I think this is going to happen. It was something completely different.
Right. Which is really cool, because this haunted house, it's not the biggest ever, they're not going to win any world records for being the longest haunted house space-wise. But the way they run it, they make sure every scene can be utilized in different ways and can change itself in such a way that makes it feel even bigger. And, the haunted house probably, it lasts for a while. And because of the way they run it like this, whereas if they just sent you through, you might be done quickly and you wouldn't get that personal experience like they offer.
You definitely feel a personal experience.
Right, which is what
every room.
Yeah, which is what this place offers that not many place does.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think that's pretty much cover all the bases on just an overview of what it is, and we can go ahead and get into our review.
All right, we'll start with production as always. We gave it a 9.5.
Right, and even that is a little nitpicky. The only reason we didn't give it a full 10 was because, some of the rooms we'd said they're just like a little. I don't know how to describe it exactly. Maybe just a tiny bit underdressed.
We're extremely nitpicking right now because of how much we enjoyed this, but slightly underdressed.
Right. There were some parts that could have been a tiny bit better, and this is, But for the most part, holy crap. And let's just talk about the holy crap part, because that little part really isn't that much. And
Not even enough really to even mention.
Right. And there was, and I know maybe this should go in actors, I'm just going to kind of mention it a little here, is there was one actor that kind of forgot their lines, which I guess that might sort of go in the production because they're giving so much to memorize.
However, every other one, they have full scripts.
Yeah, they do, and
how any of them remembered all of the things they had to say, and so well and so in character.
Right.
You believed everything they were saying, like it was really happening, not a haunted house. It felt like it was real life happenings.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
And each scene gives you the sense of really awesome dread. each room you walk into, you just don't know what's going to happen to you. Most scenes consist of putting your back against a wall, which is kind of freaky enough as it is, and you're just forced there to stand and watch. So I guess we'll talk about the very first scene again. I don't want to spoil anything for you because I'm going to highly recommend you go to this. I don't even know how do we talk about it without spoiling it.
Well, they have you go in the room,
Right.
and you sit down, and again, not wanting to give it away,
but
what?
It's just kind of a scene. It starts off as something typical. It's like, oh, there's a dead body on a table, and there's an actress behind it, and she's kind of telling you the story. And there's a big brick wall behind her. Well, let's just say the lights go out, and then when they turn back on, that wall might not be there anymore, and the scene is completely changed into something hellish and magical at the same time. And by the time the scene is done, your tour guide is there, and other people, and they are grabbing you and pulling you and screaming at you, and you're just like, what the hell is happening?
I almost didn't, they were making us get out of the room, but I almost wanted to stay because of what was happening at that time. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm not going to ruin what happens once the room changes, but it's great. It's great.
There were so many times in different rooms that I'm just like, oh my God, is that happening?
Exactly. And then, let's see. I'm trying to think of exactly what. The next thing you talk to is in your you're introduced to your tour guide. And our tour guide was simply amazing.
That's why I want to say real quick, our tour guide.
Right, which we'll get more into that in actors, but as far as production and giving the people lines and what they're supposed to do, wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
And and again with her makeup and stuff. Jeez, she had these contacts in. I don't know, at one point we were in a room with these strobe lights and her eyes went completely white when the lights turned back on and she's just looking at us and we're like, okay.
I looked at you, I'm like,
you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, throughout the course of it, and also what's awesome about this haunted house, it's not a flat surface. You're going upstairs, down slides, being dropped through things, being put into things. They have this thing that's called the pod, and as we were described to it before it happened, again, not going to ruin, they're going to put one of your friends in it, and they're going to make you think that they are severely hurting them. And it's pretty intense when it happens. It's like, oh my God. It's fake, but for that split second, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh no, they just.
Yeah.
Did they just do that to her?
Right. Let's see. Some of those. You're going to go through a pitch black maze, which has a little trick to it. We won't give it away. We were told the trick to it, which I think is an amazing idea. Because I'm not going to give that away though, but it's awesome. Do we want to talk about the dinkus now, or?
We can talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this just simply because there is a video out on it, so anyone can go see this, so we're not really ruining anything.
Right. As I said, there's two endings. This is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much advertise it as being buried alive. I think that's more to trick you. Because that's not what it's like. It's
You get in a coffin, and you almost feel like you're going to be buried alive, and...
Instead... The coffin, you have to crawl up in this attic, and you can't even stand up here, and they're decorated like coffins. It's real creepy lighting, and they make you get in this thing. Two people, mind you, these things are only this big, so me and her were in the same one. We were close together like this, and then they close you down, and all you can see is through this grill of a cage, and you're just laying there on your back.
I think at one point in time I told you I was about to shit my pants.
Yeah. But you're just sitting there, you don't know what's going on. They're locking you in these things, and then all of a sudden they just say, okay, and you drop. And it swings back and forth, and you're on the second level. Then actors jump up on it, and they're right in your face in the grill, and woo!
Woo, yeah.
It's
Again,
intense.
Very original, not anything you're going to experience
right
anywhere. That I know of, at least. I don't know anywhere else that puts you in a coffin and drops you through the floor.
And as we said about ruining things, I don't even care. We knew about it, and it was still horrifying because you don't even know. You either get this ending or the other one. You never know which one you're going to get to. I don't know how they decide that exactly.
I feel like for handicapped people, they would pick the other one because you do kind of have to crawl up into this. It's almost like an attic.
Right. Which, that's the bad thing. If you're handicapped at all, this haunted house really isn't for you because it's so interactive and there's so much climbing up and down.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if you have bad knees or anything, you could really go through it. I mean, they might have accessibility somehow, but as far I don't know about it. But
there's a lot of things that you're going to miss out on if you can't
do
that. Which,
Yeah, but as far as production, like I said, I mean, amazing sets. I mean, like I said, the 9.5 is pretty much nitpicking, but I mean, like, still a 9.5 is a crazy high score. I mean, that's really high.
Yeah.
But I think that's good for production. We probably covered that, and we're probably going to be. This one's going to be long because it's awesome. We want to talk about it. So
Sorry.
yeah,
You're just gonna sit through and listen to us talk for a while.
yeah, you should listen to it because this place is amazing and it's worth the time.
Mm-hmm. So then actors, we rated them a 10.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have, it's like full movie scripts that each
Right.
actor has memorized.
Yeah.
The way they put it off to where you completely believe everything they're saying. They stay, I did not see one person out of character.
No, I never saw one person
Ever.
out of
Not
character.
even close.
In the makeup room, that doesn't count, I'm kidding. But it was actually really funny. But some of them were even in character in the makeup room, which is awesome. Just shows you
Yes.
how much they're into it.
Yes. Our tour guide was amazing. The line actors, amazing.
Right.
Just,
If our tour guide happens to watch us, I think her name was Eric or something. Man, you're good.
you're really good.
Just, she's so, and it's funny because she was like creepy, like in this, but almost like a friendly way.
A
She-
very fun, creepy.
Yeah, like a very fun, like, I mean, she was terrifying, but at the same time, like, you felt somewhat comfortable with her. She would, like, make you hold her hands. She made me go down the slide with her. She made everyone else.
Yes.
She'd make people scream things, like the one person had to say Red Rob, and then you hear, when she gets to the end of the slide, you just hear, yum.
Yes. All of the actors.
Right.
Oh.
It was really good. There's a
Yeah.
point where a guy was picking up a girl by her hair,
Yeah.
and I mean, it really looked like he was torturing her the way they had it done, which was
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, just all of them. I mean, the way they grab and touch you, and
It's all very original.
yeah.
I don't think anyone asked me to stay and play.
No one did.
Mm.
No one did ask you that. I
Good
mean,
job.
That right there gets done, but no. I mean, yeah, I just can't imagine them being any better.
No.
Like, and there's a lot of them. I think he said in total there's 100. Which, I mean, like I said, the size of this place isn't gigantic, so 100 actors is like a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There was one scene, the spider woman.
Oh, yeah.
She says something about her children, and we're all thinking, like, what's that mean? And all these kids just come out, and I
Right.
have no idea where they came from.
I know, and they were just everywhere, just grabbing your ankles. A lot of them I didn't see. I still don't really know where I see them, just being grabbed and being touched, and then I was also being told to rush through, and oh my god, it was crazy.
Yeah,
But,
it was like chaos, but
yeah,
controlled, fun, terrifying chaos.
yeah, purposeful.
Yes. So it's good to have chaos as long as it makes sense and
Right.
it's doing its job, which it definitely did.
Yeah, and I mean, every actor, they probably let them somewhat choose their scene because it seemed like everyone was where they wanted to be and was really enjoying themselves.
Mhm.
You know, and I mean, there's nothing better than, you know, people just enjoying themselves when they're doing it. It shows.
Yeah.
It shows well, and I'm sure that also has to do with, you know, such a passionate person running the place and stuff. You know, I
Mhm.
mean, that kind of positivity bleeds down into your actors, and it makes them want to, you know, they want to be the best. They want to show people what they can do, and that's just awesome.
And it really gives the best customer experience possible
Yeah.
when the actors love what they're doing. And in turn, we love what they're doing.
Yeah,
It was definitely awesome.
it was awesome. All right, so our next category.
Animatronics and props, we gave a 10.
And again, it's really hard to find things wrong with it. I mean, all their animatronics, as far as I know, they pretty much make themselves, and they would add really cool touches. Like there's one character for the haunted house that the owner dresses up as. He plays this really awesome old man. It's a mixture of like prosthetics and makeup. I think it's really awesome. And there was a picture of him in the haunted house. You know, just like little Easter eggs and stuff, just kind of littered throughout, like that. You know, that was one of the props. And
I mean, they have the slide, the coffins,
Right.
they had a candy. Oh, I loved there was like a little candy house set up, and it smelled like candy
It
in
smelled
there.
like cotton
It smelled
candy in
so
there.
good.
So it's kind of like a Hansel and Gretel thing, and there's
And
a nice
the
little surprise. The cauldron.
Yeah, cauldron set up.
It had cotton candy in it, and it has a nice little surprise for you. And then there's also, which again, I don't want to spoil the alternative ending because it's something new they have this year, but it has to do with video. And those places that have anything to do with this, they would just buy it. This place made it completely themselves, and it's a completely, it's described by them as a full sensory assault, which is completely right. I mean, there's sound, there's video, there's air, there's scare. I mean, it's just motion, just everything combined into one, and it's an amazing experience.
Yeah. I don't know which ending I like better. They were both
I know, like they
in
were,
their own, so
right.
different and amazing.
Because the Dinkus is like, I would say it's more of like a roller coaster type of scare, because you're just kind of like waiting for that drop kind of thing. And then the other one is just kind of this like fun, but then it has a really awesome twist ending to it, which I think people will really like. I kind of knew what was going to happen, but the way it happened, I wasn't expecting
I didn't
at all.
expect it that way.
'Cause it happened in such a more elaborate way than I expected it to.
Which most things in this haunted house did.
Yeah.
You expected something to happen, but then it kind of blows your mind on how it happens.
Right? I mean, there's parts where you're going to think you're going to get crushed, where you think you're going to get hit by things. Just tons of props, but they're not overused. Most of them are powered by actors, or there's also actors with them to accent the scare, which is exactly how props should be used.
Right.
Exactly how.
It helps to have an actor with it, or else it's just something to look at. With the actor with it, it gives it that extra scare.
Exactly. No, it's just, yeah, the props and their animatronics are great. And I wish more haunted houses do it the way they do.
Wish more haunted houses did a lot of things the way they do.
Yeah.
Move on to scare factor.
Yeah,
All
I would
right.
say so.
Scare factor, we rated a 10. While I don't know if I did scream a few times. Maybe not.
I screamed a few times.
It gives, if not the screaming
Right.
kind of scare, it gives you constant dread.
Right.
Like you know something bad's going to happen and you don't know what, you don't know where it's going to come from.
Yeah, because this haunted house isn't so much based on the oogity boogity kind of scare, where you're startled for a split second. Instead, it goes to a more like, and again, we've talked about it before, like how the scare house is doing the basement, and they're saying how revolutionary that is. Well, Wellstownship, I'm pretty sure, has been doing this for a few years now. They might not go to the ridiculous extremes those places do, because that would kind of ruin the fun a bit. You don't have to sign any waiver or anything, kind of those gimmicky shit things that places think are so cool right now. I mean, not downing them, but I just think it's kind of more of like, oh, sign this waiver, you're so scared type thing.
Yeah.
But,
this is more of a fun...
yeah, fun,
but
fun
different.
torture.
Fun torture.
Fun torture. That's
Yeah.
that's like the best thing to describe. That's like, come to Wellstownship Haunted House. Fun torture.
Should be your new slogan.
Should be your slogan. But I mean, that does actually describe it quite well, because it does. You just feel nervous and tense the whole time. Like, you're not actually going to be harmed. But when they can touch you, you never know when they're going to come out and they're going to grab you and push you and make you do things you just aren't comfortable with. And that's...
I think I apologized to whoever I did. I think I pushed an actor. They tried to hold me back, and I didn't want to be by myself with them, so I think I might have pushed them off of me. And
which there were a couple of us that did get separated, and they eventually let you get back to your group, but they hold you there for a while and, do their fun torture. And,
and I didn't want to be fun tortured by myself. I wanted to be back with my group, so I apologize to whoever I pushed. It's my bad. I was scared.
Which, to make us actually feel that way after all the ones we go through is something, and this one succeeded the time before and extremely succeeded this time.
Yeah.
I was
blew my mind.
Yeah, I was expecting good things from it because I know they'd made a lot of improvements. I wasn't expecting this much, though.
And the fact that he told us they change it every single year.
Yeah.
Which on one hand I'm almost sad about, because there were so many things I loved that I would be okay with coming back next year and seeing some of the same things, but they take everything and change everything.
Yeah. Mind you, we were there only 2 years ago. There are 3 things that were the same, which was they have a vortex tunnel that they made themselves, a claustrophobia tunnel, and a slide. That is it. Every single scene completely changed. And as far as I can tell, they didn't even really reuse anything. Like, from the ground up, it looked like. Like, I couldn't... Because I remember almost every scene that we went through, and nothing was the same. It was all different.
Yeah, which I said on one hand makes me sad because there are so many things I enjoyed.
Right.
But on the other hand, knowing them, next year there's going to be even more things that I love.
Right. Which I want to mention because someone actually made a comment on a video for Cheeseman Fright Farm where I said that, it's very bland and not that great. And they said, well, they change it every year. Other places don't have that luxury. Well, Township changes every year, and they manage it to make it look as a Class A haunt, which it is.
Yes. So it is possible to tear down. Proof right here. Easy.
Yeah.
not easy, but possible to tear down every year, rebuild, and be completely amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that like Wells Township has a building, and they can build inside of it. But like a place like that that's outside, they could build it somewhere else, build it all, plan it all, and then put it all up. So I don't think that's exactly an excuse, because
Coming to a place like this
proves that
it
you
can be done.
tear it all down and do it all again, if you so feel that is what you need to do, and still make it well done. All right, so then we have our last single category, which is value. Which it is only $13.
Craziness.
Yeah,
Craziness.
only $13. You can get.
I would have paid at least $25, and still would have been a good value.
Yeah, I mean, I think
We rated this a 10, by the way.
it deserves a 10. I mean, there's nothing. It's $13. You can get a fast pass for 18, which honestly, I don't even think you should do that. Just get there a little early so you don't have to wait for like 4 hours. But I mean, you can go watch the movie that's a half hour long. Go watch the amazing band that they always have scheduled. You know,
It's not like you're going to be waiting there bored and like, oh, I'm in line. This is boring. There's so much to do while you're there. You're not even going to feel like you're in line that long.
Right? I mean, go take some pictures with the actors. Just
Get tortured before you go. Get more fun torture.
Yeah. Go look at their awesome what does he call it? The zombie vehicle thing. The zombie assault vehicle.
Yeah.
It is a military type. It's like a Humvee type thing. That they have completely just rigged out to look like the zombie like something you would use in the zombie apocalypse. And like no other haunted house has this. Most haunted houses have a hearse. They have the zombie assault vehicle.
Yeah.
So if the zombie apocalypse ever breaks out, run down to Wells Township. Sean Norman will protect you.
Well, that or he'll feed you to the zombies.
That will feed you to the zombies.
You never know with him.
Right. So, for value, I mean, there's really not much to say. It's just really good.
Yep.
I mean, like...
It was long. I think it was 30...
Yeah, the $13, yeah, it's 35 minutes at the least. Sometimes it's more depending on how long you're in a room.
I was kind of having too much fun to time it.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that in a minute, but, and you also are pretty much you get to go into the party and all that, which you get to watch some really good bands play just for the price of admission to the haunted house. So, I mean, that alone, I mean, that's worth it right there. So, yeah, I mean, there's just no way that the value deserves anything less than a 10.
No. Like I said, I would have gladly paid $25, and it still would have been a great value for how amazing it was.
Considering how much we paid for other places that can't even compare. So then I guess that brings us to our overall score, which I'm sure you can probably guess.
10.
Yep, 10. I mean, it has to be. There's only one thing that got a 9.5, which was production. Even that was a little nitpicky.
Yeah.
And I mean, we left the place, I mean, for like a half hour. We just talked about the whole way home with smiles on our face. Like, my throat hurt from screaming and from being scared and yelling over the band music to talk to the owner there. And I still just couldn't shut my stupid mouth without a drink. So we were all just talking about it like, what about this part? No, this part is my favorite. But I think this part was really cool. And it's like,
I think we both said that one time, like, okay, we need to stop talking.
Right.
And we had gotten to a gas station like half an hour later, and I'm like, I have not.
All right. We are sorry. Our camera apparently reached its max of what it could record at a time. So we just keep on talking about this place. So that's why I interrupted her. She was simply saying...
I was saying something really important, too.
Yeah, about how she couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah, I couldn't stop smiling, and now I have stopped smiling because the camera pissed me off. Anyhow, I think that's all I was saying, that even a half an hour later, I was still so happy and excited over everything that had happened.
Yeah.
And I want to go.
Yeah, I remember that too. And I had said, he had said to us before we went in, about how they went on haunt tours and stuff, and that he went to the Haunted Hoochie and that they're in a class of their own. Well, after I was done, I had told him, you guys are in a class of your own. I mean, there's just no other place that's like it, and I mean, it's just so well done. I mean, they're definitely up there with, like, the top haunts in the nation, and they should be featured even more than they are.
Yeah, with everything they do differently, the presentation, the atmosphere, the actors, everything is just top notch.
It is just great. And I mean, you owe it to yourself to see it. I would travel like 3 or more hours, just to see this place. So if you live within that distance, you should check it out.
Especially for the price that it is.
Right.
It's so cheap for such an amazing haunted house.
Yeah, and your rock concert outside. I mean, there's no beating it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before the camera decides that we've been recording too long again, we should probably end it. But in a place this good, we like to just keep talking about, and as we said, Like he tears it down every year and redoes it. I think it would be like awesome for someone to like film him doing that and stuff, and just kind of like just to see the steps of the haunted house. And I just think it'd be such a great thing, you know, that he like that they all put so much work and effort to it, and to see the steps of that. But that's just like a thought. All right, well, until next time, Josh and Kim, and the next review we'll be doing will be Canfield's Scare Grounds, and then after that, on the next Saturday, we'll be doing Cedar Point. So we'll have those reviews up sometime later next week. And we'll also be filming a short film quite soon, which is something kind of little that we're going to do, and I think it'll be fun and entertaining for you.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks.
Thanks.